We're breaking down the 10 most essential PC connections you need to know, from legacy ports still lurking on classic hardware to cutting-edge connectors powering the devices of today. Whether it's old-school interfaces, must-have display options, or networking links shaping how we work and play, each spot earned its rank for a unique reason. Which connector is truly the most universal, and which is almost extinct? Let's find out, starting with number 10. The PS/2 port is a round 6-pin connector that once ruled the world of PC keyboards and mice. Color coding makes it easy. Purple is for keyboards, green is for mice. Unlike modern USB, PS/2 is not hot swappable. Plugging or unplugging while the computer is on can damage the motherboard or device. Always shut down first. This port connects directly to the system's BIOS, so a PS/2 keyboard works even before Windows loads, making it a favorite for troubleshooting or entering BIOS settings. Gamers and some pros still seek out PS/2 for its full N-key rollover and zero-lag input, features prized in competitive play. While most new PCs have moved on, some high-end motherboards keep a PS/2 port for these exact reasons. It's a legacy connector with a few tricks left, but it demands respect. Plug it in before you power up. VGA, short for Video Graphics Array, is the familiar blue connector with 15 pins arranged in 3 rows. Introduced by IBM in 1987, it became the standard way to connect PCs to monitors and projectors for decades. VGA transmits analog video signals, which means it's sensitive to interference and cable quality. At resolutions up to 1920 by 1200, image clarity holds up. If the cable is under 5 meters, stretch that out and the picture softens, with ghosting and color bleed creeping in. In classrooms and meeting rooms, VGA is still common for older projectors, but the analog signal can't match the sharpness of digital connections. There's no audio, just video. For the best results, use short, well-shielded cables and keep them away from power cords. As displays moved to digital, VGA's limitations became clear, paving the way for sharper, more reliable connections like DV1 and HDMI. DVI, with its distinctive white connector and wide pin array, arrived as the bridge between old-school analog VGA and the digital age of displays. Unlike VGA, DVI delivers a digital video signal, making images sharper and free from analog fuzz. But not all DVI ports are equal. DVI-D handles digital only, DVI-A is for analog, and DVI-I combines both. Spotting the difference comes down to the pin layout. DVI-I has extra pins for analog support. When it comes to resolution, single-link DVI tops out at 1920 by 1200 pixels, while dual-link DVI, with more pins, pushes that limit up to 2560 by 1600. For high-resolution monitors, dual-link is essential. DVI never carries audio, so a separate cable is needed for sound. Passive adapters can convert DVI to HDMI for video, but audio won't come along for the ride. Always match your cable and port type to avoid frustrating compatibility issues. HDMI stands out as the all-in-one cable found on nearly every TV, soundbar, and game console. Its trapezoid-shaped port delivers both high-definition video and digital audio, no extra wires needed. HDMI 1.4 supports up to 4K at 30 frames per second, making it fine for most home setups. HDMI 2.0 doubles the frame rate to 4K at 60 Hz, perfect for smooth gaming and streaming. HDMI 2.1 goes further, pushing up to 4K at 120 Hz or even 8K, but only if both your devices and cable are certified for those speeds. Features like ARC and EARC let your TV send audio back to a soundbar or receiver, cutting down on cable clutter. Most monitors and graphics cards include HDMI, but for high refresh PC gaming, DisplayPort is often preferred. For everyday use, movies, consoles, or connecting a laptop to a projector, HDMI remains the go-to. Always check the cable version matches your device's needs for the best picture and sound. DisplayPort stands out as the high-performance video connector built for PCs. Its rectangular shape with a clipped corner and a solid locking tab sets it apart from HDMI and DVI. DisplayPort 1.4 can handle up to 32.4 gigabits per second, enough for 4K at 120 Hz or even 8K at 60 Hz. The latest DisplayPort 2.0 nearly triples that, pushing bandwidth to 80 gigabits per second for future-proofing ultra-high resolution monitors and multi-screen setups. One of DisplayPort's biggest strengths is multi-stream transport, or MST. With MST, a single cable can daisy-chain multiple monitors, cutting down on clutter for advanced workstations or gaming rigs. Look for the DP++ symbol if you need to use a passive adapter for HDMI output. Direction matters. Unlike HDMI, DisplayPort doesn't carry audio by default, but its raw video power and daisy chaining make it the first choice for high refresh PC displays. Always use certified cables for top speeds and reliable locking tabs for a secure fit. Micro USB is the small, trapezoid-shaped connector that powered most Android phones, tablets, and portable gadgets for nearly a decade. Its slim profile made it a favorite for devices where every millimeter mattered. Unlike newer connectors, micro USB only fits one way. Try to force it and you'll risk bending the delicate internal pins. Most micro USB ports top out at 480 megabits per second for data, which is quick enough for photos and music, but slow next to modern standards. Some devices support OTG or on the go, letting you plug in a flash drive or even a mouse. But not every phone or tablet with micro USB can do this. Compatibility is hit or miss, and often depends on hidden software settings. Over time, many users found the connector fragile, with worn ports causing loose connections or failed charges. While adapters exist to bridge micro USB and USB-C, they often lose fast charging or data features. Today, micro USB lingers on budget accessories and older tech, but its one-way design and durability issues have pushed most manufacturers to move on to more robust, reversible options. USB Type-A is the classic rectangular connector found on nearly every desktop and laptop for the past 2 decades. It acts as the main host port for keyboards, mice, flash drives, and printers. The plug only fits one way. If it doesn't slide in easily, flip it over. For most people, the color inside the port is the first clue to speed. Blue usually means USB 3.x, which supports data rates up to 5 gigabits per second, while black or white often signals older, slower versions. But color isn't always reliable. Some manufacturers use different schemes, so checking your device specs is the safest bet. USB Type-A handles moderate power, enough for basic peripherals, but not for charging power-hungry laptops. It's still everywhere, even as USB-C becomes more common on new gear. For best results, match your device to the port's speed rating and never force the plug. Bent pins can mean a dead port. Ethernet, using the RJ45 connector, is the backbone of wired networking for PCs. The plug features 8 gold contacts in a wide rectangular housing, technically called 8P8C, or 8 positions, 8 contacts. Most home and office networks use Cat5e or Cat6 cables. Cat5e supports up to 1 gigabit per second, which is plenty for streaming, gaming, or large file transfers. Cat6 takes things further, reaching up to 10 gigabits per second on runs shorter than 55 meters, ideal for demanding setups or future-proofing your network. The plastic latch clicks securely into place, but always press it down before unplugging to avoid breaking it. Beyond just data, many Ethernet cables can deliver power too. This is called Power over Ethernet, or PoE, and it's how security cameras and Wi-Fi access points can run without separate power cords. Wired Ethernet stands out for its low latency and rock-solid reliability, making it the go-to for gamers, professionals, and anyone who needs a stable connection. Wi-Fi, or WLAN, connects your PC to the internet without a cable, using radio signals instead of wires. Every generation brings faster speeds and better reliability. Wi-Fi 4, also known as 802.11n, kicked off dual-band networking, letting devices use both 2.4 and 5 GHz frequencies. Wi-Fi 5, or 802.11ac, boosted performance on the 5 GHz band, supporting smoother streaming and gaming. Wi-Fi 6, called 802.11ax, goes even further, handling more devices at once and pushing maximum speeds up to 9.6 gigabits per second, though real-world results depend on your router and environment. Security matters. Stick with WPA2 or WPA3 passwords for strong protection, as older standards like WEP are easily cracked. Wi-Fi means freedom to work or play anywhere in range, but it's sensitive to walls, interference, and crowded airwaves, so speeds can dip if too many devices are connected or your neighbor's router overlaps yours. For the fastest, most stable connection, wired Ethernet still wins, but Wi-Fi keeps you mobile and untethered. USB-C is the oval, fully reversible connector that's become the modern standard for laptops, phones, and accessories. Unlike older plugs, it works no matter which way you insert it, and it's built to handle almost anything. Blazing fast data up to 40 gigabits per second with Thunderbolt, video output for high-resolution monitors, and power delivery charging up to 100 watts. Some new versions even reach 240 watts. With alt modes, a single USB-C port can replace HDMI, DisplayPort, and more, letting one cable do the job of many. But not every USB-C port or cable supports every feature. Charging, data, and video depend on the device and the cable's specifications. Look for labels like PD for power delivery, alt mode for video, and the Thunderbolt icon for top speeds. E-marker chips inside high-power cables add an extra layer of safety, preventing overheating or device damage. As the European Union pushes for USB-C as the universal charger, this connector is set to unify nearly every device. Just double-check the specifications before you plug in. From the legacy PS/2 port all the way to the cutting-edge USB-C, our countdown has traced the full evolution of PC connections. Across all 10 entries, one clear pattern stands out. Each new connector aimed to unify functions, boost speed, and improve ease of use, often by learning from the limits of the past. If you want to see all PC components explained, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.